and you then run the last 400 meters at the same pace as the person who responded to your move, if you run at exactly the same pace, you hold the 2 meters that you got when you first surged, and he can accelerate brilliantly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an example of the art of marathon racing that you've just described there, Rob. You know, if you can throw in a surge, then you get a gap, then all you have to do is maintain that gap. It's all about acceleration, you know, tolerating that increase in lactic acid from the surging. And these are all the things that you learn, you hone your skills in racing. And Lemma just having a little casual look around, seeing how his rivals are looking. So Legesse there, starting to gradually apply pressure. This is another way you can win a race without doing a really intense surge. Just to gradually try and pull away and break your opponents by a slow death, if I can put it that way. So Abdi there with the yellow arm warmers, just trying to hang on. And now, is that Lemma just getting in a bit of danger at the back of that group?
Lemma's been dropped, definitely. Cisse Lemma, the defending champion, who did look good, Mara, and he was reaching for water. Lemma has been dropped, and how about this? I'm not saying Bekele is going to reattach himself to this group, but he hasn't become completely detached. He's now got Lemma to focus on. Let's see if we can see this gap. Lemma's out of shot here, and so too is Kenenisa Bekele. But at least Bekele's got someone to try and work towards as this group of 5 now begin thinking about when the big move will come. But Legesse looks good.
He really does, doesn't he? As does Lou Gebre Selassie, and Atenor is there. So there we can see Lemma and Bekele. Now then, I'm a bit surprised to see Lemma. 4:52. Surprised to see Lemma not being able to go with that group, but 4:52. Round 2, just outside, so 2:06, 2:07 sort of pace. So now then, everyone's starting to look round, size up their rivals, see how everyone else is doing. Kipruto, for me, Rob, looks very good.
Yes, and Legesse's had a little look over his shoulder just to check where the Kenyan is, and the answer, right beside you. I think Kipruto was getting a little bit annoyed with Atanu just clipping his heels, and Gebre Selassie has moved wide towards the left-hand side of the road as we look at it. Bashir Abdi still very much in the mix. Remember, he's not just a world and Olympic medalist, he's run a 2:03.36 when he won Rotterdam last year. Not quite as good this year with 2:05.23, but no slouch nonetheless. As Kipruto now has a little probe off the front with Atenar, Legesse, Gebre Selassie and Abdi forced to respond. And there's a spring in the step of the Kenyan here.
There really is. I thought Kipruto might be the one to take the win here. His agent said he was in 2:03 shape. Bronze medalist from Doha, so we know he's a good racer, but he did drop out of the Olympics. I think he's on good form. He said he was aiming for a personal best, which would be 2:03.13 or quicker. He was second to Kipchoge in Tokyo earlier this year. So all of these athletes, Rob, are looking good. Atenor we haven't seen that much of, but he also 2:03.51, very good PB.
And another good track athlete, Atenor, just off the podium in the World Juniors 10 years ago. Checking his watch. He's now on the left of picture. Gebre Selassie's face is a picture of concentration. 8 marathons, 4 podiums. He's won Valencia, second in Dubai, second in Rotterdam, third in Amsterdam. Maybe he could be the Ethiopian to rise to the occasion. Legesse's now at the back of this group of 5. Lemma, the defending champion, will not reattach himself to this group, and in fact Kenenisa Bekele has gone past Lemma, so Bekele is in 6th, but I don't think he will catch this leading quintet. You can just see him in the background, still obviously running okay. These five now getting ready for that big burn up into the finish. Go, 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 cry the crowd. They are. As Kipruto now really begins to ask the questions and put the hammer down. This, make no mistake, is his bid for glory. He wants to run the sting out of the finish of the likes of Bahanu Legesse. And now they are strung out, this group of five, in single file. And one by one, it appears as though they are beginning to wilt.
They certainly are, Rob, and Kipruto looks full of running, doesn't he? We need to look out for this latest mile split. This is his first London Marathon. He's got a little bit of a gap there on Gebre Selassie. Now, one of those, that is Atanor getting dropped, and also Legesse.
Yeah, Legesse's gone. Kipruto's injection of pace has done the damage. There's only two that have managed to go with him. Kenenisa Bekele might have one or two others. There he's just going through on the right of picture. That's Cisse Lema, the shadowy figure there, is the defending champion. But Lul Gebre Selassie and Bashir Abdi are the only ones now, you suspect, who can stop Amos Kipruto taking this title and upgrading a second place in Tokyo to glory and first here in London. 4:36, and that is why he has blown this field apart. This could turn out to be a beautifully timed piece of acceleration, a little bit similar to Yahualor in the women's race. This was the point at which she surged, and in that race, none of them, not even Chepkoska, the defending champion, had an answer.
Yeah, that split's what's done the damage by Kipruto, and he looked great, wasn't he? Really relaxed. That's a little bit of a nasty uphill coming out of the Blackfriars tunnel there. But now, there's the gap. That must be a good 5 to 8 seconds or so, I would say. So, Kipruto now of Kenya, the 30-year-old. Only his first London Marathon, personal best 2:03.13. He's not going to break that today. We're looking at around a 2:05, but he is looking really strong now, with just around less than 10 minutes of running left.
There's a lovely bounce to that stride, and although he'll be feeling it just as the others are, along with the fatigue will be a growing sense of anticipation that he could pull off something very special here and add his name to a rich, rich list of Kenyans to have come to London and conquer all. Just a reminder, the first Kenyan man to take this title was the brilliant Wakihuri back in '89. Then followed Evans Brutto, Martin Lell, Felix Limo, Sami Wanjiru, Sege Kabede of Ethiopia followed Wanjiru in 2010. So the Ethiopians have got in the mix many times for London, but today surely is destined to go the way of Kenya. The latest instalment in the rivalry, the rich distance running rivalry, separated by the magnificence of the vast Rift Valley. The honours this year are going to the Kenyans, you suspect. Ethiopians have come out on top in the women's race, but Amos Kipruto is determined to do the business for his country and himself here, and I think that is an unassailable lead.
I think it is, Rob. Yeah, he looks amazing. He looks really relaxed, comfortable. He's working hard, but he's not in any trouble at all. And I think that damage he did in that previous mile, I think he's got this one sewn up. He just needs to keep concentrating. Less than 8 minutes or so left to run. And there we can see as he approaches Big Ben and Westminster Square with the River Thames on his left. And the gap to the second group of athletes not even visible there. So Amos Kipruto, his first London Marathon. He was second in Tokyo earlier this year, 2:03.13, very good personal best. So he just needs to keep concentrating. When you've got a gap this size, you've just got to hold it together, limit the damage. But he's looking very, very comfortable.
Really good running here from Kipruto. He's quite powerfully built. He's got wide shoulders for a marathon runner. Looks more like a track specialist.
So 1:58.27 through 40k. That's around 2:04 and change finishing time. Predicted finishing time. Here we go. 2:04.57. Our computer's telling us. So he's not going to break his personal best. It's not going to be a course record, but it will be an amazing victory for Kipruto if he can keep this up. And there is one of those famous mile markers, redesigned, having their debut at this 2022 London Marathon. So Kipruto for Kenya in the lead.
Yes, it's not always about course records, world records. This has been a great race. And if he comes home inside 2:05, that's still a staggeringly fast time. It's easy to get blasé these days when you've got the likes of Eliud Kipchoge jogging 2:01s and 2:02s, but it's not that long ago that we were marvelling at Paul Tergat becoming the first man in history to run inside 2:05 when he ran his 2:04.55 in Berlin in 2003, and in less than 20 years he's gone from being top of the world's leaderboard to joint 70th. So sub 2:05, if he could do it, would still be an absolutely brilliant performance, especially the quality of the opponents he would have beaten to get there.
Absolutely, Rob. And he had a lead of 17 seconds through 40k. But meanwhile, back in second, third and fourth, looks like a big battle is underway for those minor positions. Lul Gebrselassie, Bashir Abdi and Atanor. Legesse, some nearly 20 seconds adrift of that group of three, battling for second, third and fourth.
He will know he's close. Big Ben, by the way, looking absolutely resplendent after its eagerly anticipated makeover. You can see him looming as you make your way up the embankment like a beacon of hope, because then you turn right and you know you're nearly there.
Yeah, the sight of Big Ben certainly is very welcome after that long stretch of several miles along the Victoria Embankment. On this section Kipruto's on now is ever slightly downhill through Westminster Square. He will join Birdcage Walk any moment with that long drag up to Buckingham Palace, and then the short sections on Spur Road. So there is Gebrselassie now. I think he's in second place. Yep, he's managed to drop Atanor. So Lul Gebrselassie now currently in second place.
So fast, he's gone past the cameraman or camerawoman on the motorbike. Gebrselassie, 6 is Abdi. He's in third with Atanor just behind in fourth. This is the battle to finish on the podium. And although Gebrselassie has gone early, Bashir Abdi has got some excellent track speed. European silver over the 10,000 back in 2018. But this is Lul Gebrselassie bid to finish in second place. He's had a number of runner-up spots in Dubai and Rotterdam, but it's all going to be gold for Amos Kipruto today. As Mara said, it's not going to be a PB. That was earlier this year with 2:03.13, but second in Tokyo is going to be followed up with the best position of all here on the streets of London. And this is such an iconic race to run, and must be, I imagine, an absolutely incredible race to win. Gebrselassie looks, it's hard to tell from that angle. Kenenisa Bekele trying to close in on Behanu Legesse, and in fact, just in the top of picture, I think Bekele's going to go past the half marathon specialist. Lul Gabri Selassie just checked his watch. But up front, ahead of them all, is the 30-year-old Kenyan Amos Kipruto. I can only imagine what scenes of delight are going on their outside broadcast facility in Eldoret. They're having a street party, and they will be celebrating now as Amos Kipruto prepares for the final turn to his right and the glorious run in to the end of a great race. Well, they're spread all over the road. Lul Gabri Selassie has taken the long way round, the same as Amos Kipruto. But let's take a second to listen to the noise and the adulation of the crowd as the winner prepares to come home. One or two Kenyan flags are flying behind the barriers. This has been superb. The World Championship bronze medalist, who was second in Tokyo earlier this year, is going to finish on top in London and on top of the world today. A masterful performance, comfortably inside 2:05. He's beaten one of the best fields ever assembled, and he's done it in style. Amos Kipruto is the TCS London Marathon champion for 2022. And what a great effort from Lul Gabri Selassie. So often he's finished second, and he's done so again. Dubai, Rotterdam, and now London added to his collection. Just outside 2:05, a brilliant run, great piece of acceleration towards the end. And third is becoming a habit for Bashir Abdi. The Olympic and world bronze medalist completes the podium with Atanu just a shade behind him. All of them coming home inside 2:05.5. Brilliant running here on the streets of London. And how about this? Flourishing into his early 40s, Kenenisa Bekele, one of the greatest distance runners in history, on the track, on cross country and on the roads, inside 2:06. It's not to be a romantic victory for him after finishing second and third in the past, but that is a great effort by the veteran, it really is. Bahanu Legesse was aggressive and made a move, but he hasn't raced in 2022. It's not been the perfect build-up, and he will be a little bit disappointed with that, but other great days will follow for the Ethiopian. What about that masterful piece of tactical distance running, though, Mara, from Amos Kipruto? Superb.
Yeah, absolutely convincing victory, and he looked so smooth at the end. And a textbook demonstration of how to win a marathon, throw in a really fast mile split and then just keep the gap. And here comes Cisse Lemmer, the defending champion. It wasn't to be two in a row for him, but he's going to finish in 7th place. He looks like he's suffering a bit, doesn't he? But he was going great guns till about 24 miles and then got dropped by that lead group. But Cisse Lemmer, the defending champion, comes home in this 42nd London Marathon.
And this is an indication, Mara, of how quickly the wheels can come off. Obviously, he's run a world-class time in low 2:07s, but for the standard we're used to seeing from him, that was effectively a jog over the last few hundred metres.